morning to all. Thank you organizers for this opportunity. So my abstract review for today is this interesting phase 1, phase 2 trial, which is TRIDENT-1. This is the intracranial and systemic efficacy of Repotrectinib in advanced ROS1 fusion positive with CNS metastasis. The lead author is Professor Jessica from United States. So Repotrectinib is a next generation ROS1 NTRK tyrosine kinase inhibitor. One of the notable drugs which are the same family is Repotrectinib. I have some experience using the drug in the ROS1 NSCLC. So demonstrable durable activity is noted with manageable safety profile in both treatment naive and pre-treated patients with the advanced ROS1 NSCLC. This trial is a global pivotal phase 1, phase 2 trial. And the present analysis is limited to the outcomes of Repotrectinib in patients with CNS metastasis at baseline. So this is the overall study schema. The TRIDENT had the phase 1 study that included all patients, solid tumor patients with ROS1 or NTRK gene fusions, and those patients with asymptomatic or stable brain metastasis were allowed in the initial clinical study. And based upon the phase 1 dose escalation cohort, the recommended phase 2 dosing was 160 mg once daily for 2 weeks, followed by 160 mg twice daily till disease progression or intolerable side effects. The phase 2 dose expansion cohort included only patients with ROS1 positive NSCLC, advanced NSCLC. It has 4 cohorts. The cohort 1 is treatment naive and the rest of the 3 cohorts are pre-treated. The heaviest treated cohort is probably the cohort 2 that included 1 prior TKI therapy and 1 platinum-based combination chemotherapy. The primary endpoint of the whole exercise was the objective response rates by the independent blinded committee review. And the key secondary endpoints included PFS, OS, and also the study present analysis of intracranial overall response rates in patients with measurable brain metastasis. So brain scans were mandated for all the patients in the phase 2 at the time of screening and also during the protocol specified intervals until progression. So these are the results. So treatment naive included 8 patients with measurable CNS metastasis, and in those 8 patients the intracranial overall response rate was 88%. And in pre-treated there were 12 patients, and in those patients who were pre-treated for the TKI and no chemotherapy it was 42%. So at the time of data cutoff, it was June 20, 2022, none of the patients in the TKI naive cohort had actually progressed, and about 40% of the patients in the pre-treated cohort had actually had either intracranial progression or death. So the overall intracranial overall duration of response in the treatment naive patients included from 2 months to nearly 15 months, nearly 86% were remaining on treatment. In pre-treated cohort, the range was around 3 months to 11 months, and about 80% of the patients are still on the treatment. So these are the results with respect to systemic responses in patients with or without brain metastasis. And expectedly, the cohort that was doing well was a treatment naive group. You can see nearly 90% responses in those patients who have not taken prior TKI therapy, and it dropped down to nearly 13% only in those patients who have been exposed to 2 prior lines of TKI therapy. And this is similar in those patients without brain metastasis as well. Coming to the duration of response, expectedly the 6 months duration of response was significantly high, but non-pre-treated patients around 90%, and it drops down to nearly 50% in those patients who are pre-exposed to prior therapy. So in conclusion, Repotrectinib showed durable clinical activity in ROS1 TKI naive and pre-treated as well as those patients with baseline metastasis, CNS metastasis, and those without CNS metastasis. The safety profile was similar in patients in both with or without CNS metastasis, and the most common neurological treatment emergent adverse effects were dizziness, dysgeusia, paresthesia, headache, ataxia, and memory impairment. I think that concludes my review. Thank you very much.